Did you know that you could put honey in your mate? It tastes so much better. Anyways, I just arrived here in this time chamber and I signed a 9.5k deal USD and got in the best shape of my life within a month. How does that happen? Everybody tells you to disappear for 2 months, 6 months to focus on your projects, getting in the best shape of your life, or focus on your business. But nobody tells you how. So I will tell you how I disappeared in order to compress 2 years into 2 months. The first thing you want to do is stop morning routines. Just wake up, sit down, open your MacBook. If you don't have a MacBook, go buy one. Put on noise-canceling headphones and do the work. And I'm saying it out of experience because I've tried different models, different routines, and from what I've seen, it seems obvious, but in the morning, that's where your brain has the most energy and has the most willpower. Even if you're strong-willed, you have a limited willpower. It will decrease over time. And if you've read the book Deep Work, you pretty much know that deep work is limited to 4 hours a day. It's very hard to do more than that and produce high quality inputs. So you want to make sure that the first hours of the day are spent in doing stuff that moves you forward, not into some silly routine or yoga or some crazy stuff. Of course, you can still go outside, do some grounding, get the sunlight for 5 minutes, but then you should get to work as soon as possible because the more steps you add, the harder it gets, the more decisions you're gonna have to make and the more willpower you will consume. Now you might ask, how do I choose the most important task of my day? Well, that depends on your project. If you're at a stage where finances are the priority, then just focus on business. I had a point in my life where fitness was the priority, so as soon as I woke up, I went to the gym. Now, personally, the first thing I do when I wake up is I do the morning prayer and then I do the rest. It just takes 5 minutes, pretty fast. In order to do the prayer, you have to wash your face. So it wakes you up a bit more so you're ready to tackle the most important task. So now, without BS, if I had to summarize my routine, it's basically that. I wake up with my alarm, which is set with the app Sleep Cycle. So I have a 20-minute waking up window, so it doesn't disturb my sleep cycle. And then straight away, I drink water with some supplements and then I go straight to the bathroom. I wash myself, I do my morning prayer, which takes around 5 minutes, helps waking up a bit more, being grateful for this new day. And I just go to the office or the room where my MacBook is. I open it and I get to work. The second thing you want to be careful about is food. Eat only twice. Once around midday when you get hungry, and once in the evening, ideally after the gym, so you get your protein intake. And what you want to eat is lots of protein and less carbs. So this way you won't get tired all the time. The no-brainer here is steaks and eggs. And then of course you can eat some more stuff. You don't need to be a strict carnivore diet. You can eat other stuff. I eat fruits, not too much fruits, but I eat some fruits. I eat yogurt. And the reason I settle on 2 meals a day is because 1 meal a day would be optimal. But at some point in the day, I get pretty hungry and I can't focus on my tasks, which maybe is the same for you. And if you go to the gym, then you need some amount of calories, otherwise you will lose your gains. So now, what do I eat? So you can copy me. It's something I've been testing over the years and improving. So what I eat when it's around midday and I get hungry is basically yogurt without sugar. You don't want to eat any kind of sugar. I put honey on it, nuts, peanut butter, a bit of oatmeal and bananas. And that's my midday meal. Then I will go back to work, go to the gym, and when I come back, it's gonna be a protein shake if I have some, and then steaks, eggs, cheese, lots of food which are protein dense. And because I'm in Argentina, it's pretty easy to find good steaks. But if you're not in that place, then you can eat chicken, the classical chicken rice, broccoli, or I'm not sure about that, haven't tried, but plant-based protein. Third thing you want to do is read 4 pages every day. I know it sounds useless, but just getting started with 4 pages might lead you to read 10 pages or even more. But at least you read 4 pages on a weekly basis. That's 28 pages, which is a good part of the book, right? And so the way you want to approach it is not to read any book, all right? Because with all the information we get nowadays, you'll just forget about it. You want to read books that you will apply, or fiction books if you just want to relax. I've tried to read fiction books in order to relax, but it doesn't work. But I know people who read that and it works on them. So if you're like me and you read mostly non-fiction books or spiritual books as well, what you want to do is define what your current bottleneck is. Do you have a business bottleneck? And within business, is it about marketing, about sales, about product, about managing teams? Is it a fitness bottleneck? Is it about food, diet, training? Choose your book depending on your current focus, the thing you want to solve right now. So this way, you'll be interested to do it. You won't force yourself to just read pages, right? You don't have to do that. Because then if you do that, you're gonna stop reading and you're gonna lose that very healthy habit. Now, what about physical books, Kindle, iPad? Doesn't matter. I personally read on a Kindle because I'm traveling, so I don't wanna travel with all my physical books because it takes a lot of space. Now, of course, physical books, in my experience, are way better, but hey, yeah, as long as you can read, that's fine. If you want to keep notes on the books you read, I would advise Kindle because you can just highlight the words with your fingers pretty easy, and then you can synchronize it with Readwise, which you can synchronize with Notion and other tools if you want to use the knowledge that you consume every day. Now, the fourth thing you want to do, which is quite obvious, is stop drinking and smoking. Do you even need an explanation for that? I don't think you need an explanation, right? It's pretty obvious. Now, I understand if you're traveling or if you're in an environment with friends, then sometimes it might seem awkward to not be the guy who drinks when everyone is drinking, or the only guy who doesn't smoke when you're surrounded by smokers. Well, the number one rule you have to apply for that is to not care. People will respect you more on your decision to not consume that than if you were to do it just to blend in. Trust me. And the biggest reason why people drink and smoke and put themselves into a modified state is not always, but because sometimes they're afraid of being extroverted or being themselves. And so they drink so they feel more relaxed. They feel like they can loosen up a bit more and be more extroverted and do things. Well, you can do this without drinks, right? You can be the crazy guy without drinks. So just do it. Now, if you need a way to unwind and to disconnect from work, there are plenty of healthy ways to do that. Of course, there's the gym, going to the gym or doing some kind of sports, running, martial arts. These are great ways to disconnect and to forget about work. Just walk in the nature. If you have the luxury to have the nature next to your house or not so far, then enjoy it, enjoy that. Then get the most of this. Because last week I was in Center Buenos Aires, and you tend to forget how noisy, how busy a city can be when you have the nature surrounding yourself. So really something that makes you better. I just figured out I sleep better, I have a better time focusing here, there's not as much distractions, so just enjoy that. And if you really don't find ways, then of course there's content, entertainment. Squid Game Season 2 just got out, so you can watch that. It could be a good activity to do with friends, and you know, it's fun. Fifth principle is about compound lifting. You're sitting all day long in front of your computer, so you want to get as much muscle stimulation as possible. And compound lifts such as bench press, deadlift, squats, they're good to stimulate your body and make you remember that you're not just meant to sit down on a chair in front of your computer. You're more than that, all right? Now, how do I organize my workout schedule in order to really feel the power of the time chamber, of the isolation, and get the most focus out of it? First of all, I place it the latest possible, but there's one rule. You want to go to bed at least 4 hours after training. So that means if you go to bed at 10 p.m., you want to end your workout session at 6 p.m. Now, you don't need to be that strict. Of course, if it's 3 hours, that's fine. But it's just better because working out gets your body pumped, energized. It's gonna be hard to just fall asleep right after that. So what I do is I work all day long, I do some walks, and then at the end of the day with the team, we go to the gym, we work out, then we go back, we eat, and then we have some time to chill because you don't want to eat too much before sleeping as well. So you want to chill a bit so you have time to digest. Because here's the thing, your body can either digest food or recover. It has to choose. So you want to give it the time to digest, 2-3 hours, maybe 4, and then go to bed. So the best would be to place the gym in the early or late afternoon. So you have time to do a good workout, you have time to eat a good meal with a lot of protein, and then go to bed later. Now my workout split changes a bit, but right now it's about Monday chest, Tuesday back, Wednesday rest day, Thursday arms, Friday leg day, Saturday shoulders, Sunday rest. And in the rest days, I used to place boxing sessions, which I don't do here because I didn't hire a coach here, but I might do it in the future. Now, if you haven't seen results regarding fitness, don't forget to track your progress and do progressive overload. The way to track it is pretty straightforward. I just use Apple Notes. I note my workouts and I just note the new weights I need to add. Whenever a certain weight becomes too easy, then I add 5 or 10 kilos. Last principle you need to disappear for 2 months and get 2 years worth of work done is to get yourself a hyperbolic time chamber. You want to take 2 friends that are on the same path, isolate yourself in an Airbnb or a house and stay for 2 months. This is the best thing you can do because you're gonna elevate the environment. And here's the thing, if you still live with your parents or you live in a student house with other guys who don't have the same goals as you, or you live with friends or with your girlfriend, then you will absorb a part of them and they will absorb a part of you as well. So something you have to remember is that exposition leads to contamination. I'm not saying your parents or your friends or your girlfriend is bad, but you're gonna look like a bit more like them if you spend time with them, all right? It's gonna normalize their situation. So if their situation is not what you wanna reach, you're not interested in what they're doing. For example, they just have a job, nothing wrong with the job, but maybe it's not aligned with your goals, or at least your long-term goals. Maybe they like to just party and they don't want to do much more than that. They just want to spend their time entertained. They don't want to achieve great stuff and prepare themselves for the future, which might be bad, and they live paycheck to paycheck or whatever. They're not aligned with your values, which isn't bad necessarily. I have a lot of friends like that and I love them. I love to see them, have a very good time with them. But you need to have some periods of isolation where you can just focus on growing, on getting to the level you want to reach. In order to reach that, you need to expose yourself to things you want to be contaminated by, all right? Because exposition leads to contamination. So if you're spending your days and living 24 hours with 2 other guys or 3 or more that are entrepreneurs, they want to achieve stuff, or they're high-level athletes, you're gonna be like them, right? It's not gonna be okay to not work if you're surrounded by people who work by default. And so this is why you wanna really take a physical environment. Digital groups, communities, that helps, of course, but making it physical is a different thing, right? That's why you see scenes of Batman in the jail when he falls in the kind of a jail, of a hole, where he has to recover and get back into it. He used that to focus and get better. When Goku went into the time chamber to compress time and do the most amount of work and work out in order to come back stronger, They use that kind of feeling. They expose themselves with strong guys. Goku wasn't with his wife, with his girlfriend when he entered the time chamber. So that's what I would advise you. Now, you might not have the money to travel the world and get a house, which I understand, or to spend a month, let alone 2 months or 3 months away. So what you can do is start by doing a weekend, just a weekend, 2 days, maybe 3 days, Friday to Sunday, and just rent a house in your city. If you do it with 3 or 4 other guys and you divide the price, it's not going to be that much. It's an investment. And because you put money on the table, then it will motivate you to make the most out of it. You want to even make it back while you're in this focus mode. That's the way you can take risks, even though nothing bad is going to happen. You're just going to lose a bit of money, right? And worst case, you're going to have a good time with friends. Now, you have to be careful who you do this with. I'm going to tell you how to select the people you can do this with. First of all, they have to have the same goals or even higher, and they need to be at their level similar to you or higher. Higher is of course better because then they will bring you up, and then you need to bring them up in another way, right? It could be maybe you're the most jacked of your group of friends and your friends are the most financially successful. Then they can help you on the finance stuff, on the business stuff, and you can coach them at the gym. That's actually what I do. I'm not jacked, but because I work with fitness creators, I have some experience in the fitness industry. I have a lot of programs which I tested, which I've seen gotten great results. And so I'm applying them with my friends. I'm coaching them because I have this knowledge. And then you want to make sure that these people are clean, all right? Because living with boys, it can get pretty crazy pretty fast. So you want to make sure they're clean. They respect each other's spaces. And apart from that, we're pretty simple, right? So it shouldn't be an issue to live with other guys for a few days and even months. I've done that a lot of times. I've been in the army. I know what it looks like, and it's often not a problem. Now, the time chamber in itself is not necessarily a physical location. It's a state of mind. It's a state of mind in which you define a period of your life to focus intensively, right? You could create your own time chamber. If you have a hard time doing this, join Content Operators. We give you the tools to set up your own time chamber, your mental time chamber, so you can achieve 2 years of work in 2 months where you are right now. It's a matter of having the mindset. That's what I've been doing a lot, so I know the tools you can use to apply that right now. Thanks for your time and see you in the trenches.